Hello everybody, it's Mary Jane and I'm back. I thought we could use some watercolor paper and our paint boxes to create a garden of flowers. And I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do this or how we are going to do this if you're interested in doing this. But I thought I would start out by playing with the paint on watercolor paper. And the first thing you do is lay down a puddle of clear water, make it a circle of water, and then dab some of the paint into the water. Only pick two colors, maybe three, but two is better. And just watch what they do in the water. The paints are all a little bit different in how they react in a puddle of water. But I thought we could make some flowers, and we would start with making circles and putting color in the circles, the puddles of water. So I speeded this up. It's not exactly how fast I worked, but I thought I'd make a lot of circles. And I was using warm colors there. You can see I was using red and yellow, and those are warm colors, and the blues and purples are cool colors. And you don't always put them all together unless you feel like it, but there. Now that red is a rather sort of a cool red, but it's with the warm yellow, and see what happens there. And I'm just playing with color to see what they would do. You put two colors together and see what happens in a pool of water. So I'll play some music while I paint, because I don't want to bore you with my chatting. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday, had a wonderful holiday. I had a very quiet holiday. My family came by with some presents and they dropped them off at my little place where I live with my little dog Maggie. And then they went home. They didn't come into my house, and I didn't go into their house because we were isolating right in our bubbles. So here I am making circles, and I was thinking that these would be part of my flower painting. And it was an experiment. I thought I would make a lot of circles, and then I would cut them out and paste them on top of some other circles made of construction paper or different paper that I might have lying around. And I happen to have a bit of construction paper. You have some nice colors on rolls at the school in the hallway, or you used, yes, and there's some nice colors there. They would make good circles too for these flowers. Anyway, these are the centers of the flowers. And so I was finished that part and I let it dry. And then I got my construction paper and I used a lid of a plastic container as a circle to draw circles, to get a better circle than I would get if I tried just by myself. So if you fold a piece of paper and you cut it out, you can get two circles at the same time, so it saves a little time. So I cut some paper out. There we went, cutting paper out. I bet some of you are really good at cutting circles. And if your circles aren't perfect, it doesn't matter for this project. If you get a little wonky, that's fine. So I tried different colors. I tried some blue and some pink and some yellow. And rather than make you watch all that, I speeded it up and edited this little video to make it go by a little faster for you. Because you know how to do this. You know how to cut out circles. So then I cut out my watercolor circles. Now they were dry by this time. They had been sitting there for about half an hour and they were good and dry. So I cut them out. There. I let a little bit of white be between the edge of the circle and the paper so that I could get a white circle around the watercolor part. And then you have a little white circle around it between that and the colored paper you're going to put it on. So now that was a wonky circle. It didn't turn out too well, but really it didn't matter at all. So don't worry if your circles aren't perfect. So there we go. You see I left a little bit of white around it. If you don't leave white around it, that's fine too. You just don't have that extra little white line. I thought it might be nice. Now this was an experiment and I had no idea what was going to happen. I kind of had an idea in my imagination. And I've been looking at some flower paintings online. I have a Pinterest board and I save a lot of images that I like and they inspire me. I don't copy somebody else's work, but I like to be inspired to see the possibilities and how people will have used things. So I guess you would call this a collage. A watercolor, collage, watercolor and collage. So you're learning quite a number of skills. So far you've learned about hot, warm and cold colors. And you've cut out circles. And then I glued them all together with white glue. I tried a glue stick, but it didn't hold very well. So the watercolor paper is a little bit thicker and it needed some white glue. So I put some white glue in a container and I used a brush. And pretty soon I had all these circles with my watercolor. And then I got my marker, a Sharpie, and I decided to make my flowers. So I was playing with pattern. Pattern is when you repeat shapes. You create texture and have fun. I didn't really have a plan, but I thought that looked nice with dots and a line around it. And there I made little round petals for this one. So you can use your imagination if you do this project. And I wondered, what will I do there? Oh, I'll make a curly Q. There we go. And then I got another one and I kept on going. I wasn't quite sure what they were all going to do, but using a marker, Sharpie marker, it worked okay. I was thinking that maybe most people would have a Sharpie marker. You could also use crayons, but I think a Sharpie for this project probably the best way to go. Yeah, I think so. Unless you had other markers with a small tip. But the Sharpie is really better for this project. The black against the color, it makes it a little more, a little better design-wise. Because the black stands out against the color of your paintings. I like to make patterns, so they're all different. I didn't copy one to another. I just painted as I went along, and I realized I wanted some protection for my paper underneath. I had a piece of white drawing paper, so I took another piece of paper that wasn't too important and I put it underneath so that I wouldn't get the black Sharpie all over the white paper, the white drawing paper underneath. So I edited this, so I've skipped a bit of the recording here for you. You can just watch what happens. And I thought circles and lines and dots and little ladders and round things with dots in the middle. Just playing with pattern. It makes things look a little different. These don't look like real flowers. They're more like graphic design flowers or illustration ideas. They're more like a design. Yeah, I'd say this is a design. I love design. I'm more of a graphic artist and illustrator than a painter. So, pretty soon I had a pile of flowers, and then I arranged them to see what they might look like on my big sheet of drawing paper. And when I decided, first I tried a glue stick because I thought the construction paper might stick better, but it didn't stick that well. So I went back to the glue. So I got the glue, and you see I was experimenting. I wasn't sure how it was going to work, and I felt the glue would hold it better. It would hold the flowers against the background. You could use a colored sheet of paper to make a different kind of background, but all I had was white drawing paper. But if I was at your school, I would probably get a sheet from the hallway, maybe the blue or the black or the yellow or even the green, and then you'd have a whole different feeling to your flowers. But this is the way it was going to happen. As I said, it was an experiment, and I was using what I had on hand. And I was thinking of something that might be fun for you to do, and maybe it would be fun for you to try this. And it would be your own design, and everyone's would be different, and it would be kind of fun. So then I was thinking, okay, they all look like flowers now. What am I going to do now? I think I need to get my Sharpie and give them some stems to turn them into flowers. So, okay, I speeded this up really fast, and I added stems and leaves. And pretty soon, it was pretty much done, but I decided to add those little dots that I had left over because I had quite a number of small circles left over. So I added them to the painting, the collage, just to add some interest and to use up the colors that I had used before. I could add the stems to them, but I don't think it's necessary at this point. I think they add a little bit of a nice little touch. So it's pretty much done. I hope you like this project. If you give it a try, remember we're talking about the butterfly way, and we could add a butterfly. I think that would be a perfect touch to add a butterfly to our butterfly garden, our flower garden. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Bye for now.